I found my wife's secret diary. I found my wife's secret diary on a rainy Tuesday afternoon, hidden beneath a loose floorboard in our bedroom. I was not searching for anything suspicious. I was looking for the spare key to our backyard shed because the roof had started leaking, and I needed a toolbox. While moving an old wooden chest beside the wardrobe, I noticed one floorboard was slightly raised. At first, I thought moisture had damaged it. When I pulled it up, I discovered a small black notebook wrapped carefully inside a silk scarf. My wife, Emma, had always hated diaries. At least, that was what she told me. Writing your feelings down is pointless, she once said. You should tell the person directly. Yet there it was, a diary with her initials written in gold across the cover. E.M. I should have put it back. Every reasonable part of me knew that reading someone's diary was a violation of trust. Emma deserved privacy, even after 12 years of marriage. But lately, she had been different. She stayed late at work. She took phone calls outside. She changed the password on her laptop. Whenever I entered a room unexpectedly, she quickly closed whatever she was reading. The woman who once shared everything with me had slowly become a stranger. I opened the diary. The first entry was dated 3 years earlier. I saw him again today. My hands tightened around the notebook. The entry continued. He looked older, but his smile was exactly the same. I thought I had forgotten what it felt like to be seen by him. I was wrong. I felt my stomach drop. There was another man. I turned the page. Daniel does not suspect anything. He thinks I am working late. I hate lying to him, but I cannot explain this yet. I was Daniel. The words blurred in front of me. I sat on the bedroom floor while rain struck the windows. My heart hammered so loudly that I could barely think. Emma had been meeting someone secretly for 3 years. I kept reading. She never wrote the man's name. She only called him Jay. Every entry made things worse. Jay asked whether I still think about the past. Jay said we cannot keep meeting like strangers. I almost told Daniel tonight, but I lost my courage. I am terrified that the truth will destroy everything. By the time I heard Emma's car pull into the driveway, I had read nearly half the diary. I quickly wrapped it in the scarf and placed it back beneath the floorboard. That evening, Emma walked into the kitchen carrying grocery bags. Hey, she said, smiling tiredly. How was your day? I stared at her, wondering how she could behave so normally. Fine, I replied. She leaned forward and kissed my cheek. Her touch made me feel sick. During dinner, I barely spoke. Emma talked about a difficult client and asked whether I wanted to watch a movie later. I watched every movement she made. Had she met Jay that day? Was Jay the reason she had worn perfume to work? Was she planning to leave me? That night, while Emma slept beside me, I stared at the ceiling. I imagined confronting her, but I needed to know everything first. The following morning, after she left, I returned to the diary. The next entry was different. I went back to the hospital today. Jay was waiting near the entrance. I almost turned around, but he saw me. Hospital? I continued reading. He said I cannot keep pretending that nothing happened. He deserves answers. Daniel deserves answers too. The entries became more confusing. There were references to tests, old photographs, and a woman named Margaret. One page contained only one sentence. The results confirmed what I feared. I began wondering whether Jay was sick. Perhaps Emma had reconnected with an old boyfriend who was dying. Maybe guilt had pushed her to comfort him. But another entry destroyed that explanation. Jay asked if Daniel knows he exists. I felt cold. What did that mean? I turned several pages until I found a photograph tucked between them. It showed Emma standing beside a young man outside a hospital. The photograph looked recent. The man appeared to be around 25. He had dark hair, a serious expression, and a familiar shape to his eyes. For several seconds, I could not understand why he looked familiar. Then I realized. He looked like Emma. The same eyes. The same chin. The same slight smile. My first thought was impossible. Emma was 38. She could not have a 25-year-old son. But as I examined the picture, another possibility entered my mind. A brother? A cousin? Then I read the entry behind the photograph. Jay called me mom today. The diary slipped from my hands. I sat frozen on the floor. Emma had a son. A son she had never told me about. We had been married for 12 years. We had spent years trying unsuccessfully to have children. We had endured doctor appointments, treatments, disappointment, and grief. Emma had cried in my arms after every failed attempt. All that time, she already had a child. I felt betrayed in a way I could not describe. When Emma returned home that evening, I was waiting at the dining table. The diary lay in front of me. She stopped the moment she saw it. The color disappeared from her face. "Daniel," she whispered. "Who is Jay?" She slowly placed her handbag down. "You read it? Who is he?" Emma closed her eyes. For a long moment, she said nothing. Then she pulled out a chair and sat opposite me. "His name is Jacob," she said. "And yes, he is my son." The confirmation hurt more than the suspicion. "How?" I demanded. "You were 13 when he was born." Emma stared at the table. "I did not give birth to him." I frowned. "Then why does he call you mom?" Tears filled her eyes. "Because I raised him for the first 6 years of his life." Emma explained that Jacob was actually her younger sister's child. Her sister, Lily, became pregnant at 17. Their parents were deeply religious and terrified of public shame. They sent Lily away during the pregnancy and told everyone she was studying abroad. After Jacob was born, Lily suffered severe depression and disappeared. Emma, who was only 13, helped her mother care for the baby. As the years passed, Jacob became emotionally attached to Emma. "She was more of a mother than a sister," Emma said. "I fed him, bathed him, comforted him, and taught him to speak." When Emma was 19, Lily suddenly returned. She wanted her son back. Their parents agreed, believing a child belonged with his biological mother. Lily moved to another city and cut contact with the entire family. Emma had not seen Jacob again until 3 years earlier, when he found her online. "Why did you hide this from me?" I asked. "Because I was ashamed." "Ashamed of loving a child?" "No," she said. "Ashamed of what happened afterward." Emma opened the diary to a page I had not reached. There, she had written about the last day she saw Jacob as a child. When Lily came to take him, Jacob screamed and clung to Emma. He begged her not to let him go. Emma promised she would find him. But she never did. Her parents threatened to disown her if she interfered. They told her Jacob needed to forget the confusion and accept Lily as his mother. "I was young and afraid," Emma whispered. "So I let them take him." For years, she carried the guilt silently. When Jacob finally contacted her, he revealed that Lily had struggled with addiction. His childhood had been unstable, filled with broken promises, temporary homes, and constant fear. He remembered Emma. He remembered the songs she sang to him. He remembered sleeping beside her during thunderstorms. He remembered calling her mom. He did not want money, Emma explained. He only wanted to know why I abandoned him. My anger weakened, but another question remained. "Why did you not tell me when he found you?" "Because we were trying to have a baby," she said. "Every appointment was painful. I thought telling you I had already experienced motherhood would make you feel even more alone. You decided that for me." "I know. You lied for 3 years." "I know. Her voice broke. I kept planning to tell you, but every week made the lie bigger. I looked again at the photograph. Jacob's expression seemed guarded. He stood close to Emma, but not comfortably, as though part of him still expected her to disappear. Why were you meeting at the hospital? I asked. Emma wiped her eyes. Lily is dying. Jacob's biological mother had severe liver failure. She needed treatment, but years of addiction had damaged nearly every relationship in her life. Jacob had asked Emma to come with him because he was afraid to face Lily alone. The test results in the diary were hers? I asked. Emma nodded. She may only have a few months. The secret I had imagined was an affair. The truth was much more complicated. Emma had hidden an entire family tragedy beneath our bedroom floor. I was still hurt. Her reasons did not erase the lies. Trust could not be repaired in a single conversation. But I also saw something I had ignored. Emma had not been distant because she stopped loving me. She was drowning in guilt. Does Jacob know about me? I asked. Yes, she said. He wants to meet you, but I told him I needed to speak to you first. I looked at the diary. You had 3 years to speak to me. I am sorry. The next day, Emma took me to a small cafe near the hospital. Jacob was already sitting by the window. When we approached, he stood nervously. He looked at me, then at Emma. So, he said quietly, you must be Daniel. I nodded. And you must be Jay. Emma gave me a worried look, but Jacob smiled slightly. For the next 2 hours, we talked. He told me about his childhood, his anger, and the years he spent searching for Emma. He admitted he had hated her before understanding how young she had been. I am not trying to replace anyone, he said. I just wanted to know where I came from. I understood that feeling more than he realized. Emma and I never had biological children, but over the following months, Jacob slowly became part of our lives. It was not immediate or perfect. There were arguments. There were uncomfortable silences. Emma and I attended counseling to rebuild the trust her secrecy had damaged. Lily died 4 months later. At her funeral, Jacob stood between Emma and me. As the service ended, he reached for Emma's hand. Then, unexpectedly, he reached for mine. 1 year after I found the diary, I replaced the loose floorboard. Before sealing it, I asked Emma what she wanted to do with the notebook. She held it for a moment, then handed it to me. Burn it, she said. I shook my head. No. We should finish it. On the final page, Emma wrote the truth about the day I discovered her secret. Then she gave me the pen. I added 1 sentence beneath hers. Sometimes the secret that breaks your heart is also the truth that makes your family whole. We placed the diary in a box, not beneath the floor, but on a shelf where nothing had to remain hidden again.